Hey, Safe Street Dealers, my entrepreneurial posse. It's football season that time of year again. Don't worry, I'm not homeless. Just growing out the scruff a little. Celebration of football. Today I want to talk to you about culture. See, culture talk. Lots of people discuss it, but what does it really mean? And how do you build culture in your organization? It's really important to discuss culture building, but it's also important that the talk about culture not be cliche. I was recently reading some articles about culture building and came across some key points to culture building, or I'd like to say culture awareness. Culture is the result, in my opinion, culture is the result of how leaders lead and how the workers coexist. There always will be culture, but the trick is to make sure it's a positive one. Your mission as a company tells a lot, and the team members in the organization who embrace the mission will be the ones to cultivate the positive culture. Let that process, right? So there were 5 key points in this recent article I read. First one was, it's an important one, embrace openness. Having transparency promotes fixing problems before they become a crisis. When you see an issue and don't address it, that's what leads to destruction. So you have to be able to speak to people in your organization without worrying about backlash. When you hire, you need to make sure your applicants know it's an organization of transparency. And they need to accept constructive criticism to be able to talk about the tough stuff before it becomes the big stuff that actually ruins teams. Second key point was avoid the growth above all mindset. Mission first, but people always. Growth is essential, but it can't be the purpose and the end. You must love your people, and it must be authentic. I'm not asking for kumbaya. I'm saying leaders need to lead, but need to have compassion and empathy as well. Remember, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. It's a key component to culture building. Number 3, get rid of the brilliant jerks. Top performers can't be ignored when their behavior is unacceptable. It may not be apparent immediately, but the effect is unmistakable over time. Poor behavior from top performers that isn't addressed becomes acceptable and cancerous. This is especially hard when you are a sales organization like Safe Streets. See, I struggled with this early on in my career. Oh no, I can't fire the top performer. He's the top performer. Yeah, well, what I learned was that because that top performer was not a promoter of company culture, it drove the others to not perform as efficiently. When I fired the top performer, the next month we grew 10% without him. The rest of the people who were happy to see him go picked up the slack, and not only did we hit the actual numbers, we grew another 10%. At that point, I was convinced. Don't keep the jerks around. Number 4, use teams to build resilience. It's imperative at a time of accelerated change, teams can always be on. The individuals cannot. Teams foster empathy, creativity, and strengthen resilience. Break all departments into small groups so nobody ever feels they're alone. Group team effort, we all win or we all lose. Number 5, culture is the company's immune system. Like any living thing, if it's unhealthy, you're more susceptible to illness and viruses. Some make you cough, others go beyond aches and pains. Having a culture that isn't healthy creates an unhealthy environment that doesn't promote strong hiring and excellent retention of employees. Lousy culture can make a company weak and result in poor performance, and bad reputation. Here's the deal. Get rid of the non-conformers. Get rid of the people who are about them and only them. This is a team vision and requires a team effort. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I hope you find this information to be helpful. It will make your team and your department stronger. If anybody hasn't told you today that they love you, I love you, and there's nothing you can do about that. Stay positive, and I'll see you at the top.